Hi, thank you for tuning into the Wholeness Equity Podcast with your host, Shalyn Davis. I'm excited to launch this first episode, you guys. Wholeness Equity means so much to me, and I hope that as you tune in, that you would like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you are getting out of this episode. I am a personal life coach, spiritual life coach, and also business coach, and I hope that I'm able to drop some gems that you're able to take to advance and elevate your life, whether it's spiritually, financially, within your relationships, within your relationship with yourself, and most importantly, your relationship with God, because I found out it is so essential. As you tune in for more and more each week, I pray that it allows your life to evolve. I promise you, I'll be sharing some of the things and that I've learned throughout my experiences in life. Also, I'm happy to bring on some people that will be able to share some of their experiences with you. But first, let's have a one on one. Today, I want to talk with you about confidence. Why confidence? Because confidence is something that I actually had to develop over and over throughout my life. And I realized that it has been the game changer for me to actually walk in some of the promises that God has for me. And I believe in order for you to get to the other side of whatever season you find yourself in, you are always going to have confidence. I realize it doesn't matter how talented you are, maybe how intelligent you are, or how gifted you are. If you lack confidence, man, I'm telling you, some things will be definitely hard for you. And there may be some doors that may be delayed, or maybe you might not be able to walk into because you're not ready, because you have to have confidence. One thing I also learned is walking through some dark seasons in my life, I would now know that they were developing seasons. Simply like when the camera and the lighting, when that film has to go through the process, it's a dark room, right? And I understand that sometimes your confidence is being shaped and made in tough seasons. And I remember me telling God, I believe that you can do all these things. And I remember God saying, but how much confidence do you have in yourself? When I tell you, I felt like the wind was not beneath my sails because I had so much confidence in God, but I didn't have confidence in me. Even starting this podcast took confidence. I had to believe that what God was really telling me to do, because I believe that God is putting people on the other side of this to hear through the sound of my voice, let them know that they are not alone in this walk of life. And maybe you just need somebody to coach you, to encourage you, to let you know that your sister's on the other side rooting for you to win. I believe sometimes confidence, you just need people in your life that believe in you. And I hope that as you tune into this Wholeness Equity podcast, that it encourages you to become the full self, right? Your full self. And that's through confidence. One thing I want to tell you is in order for you to have confidence, you have to have a relationship with God. Now, some believers, you may not be on here, maybe you don't believe in God, but I would still welcome you to listen because I understand that faith comes by hearing. It doesn't matter where you are. Know that love is on this podcast. I want to tell you that I've realized that having a relationship with God has been so important in my life because as I begin to listen to what God is saying about me, as I begin to read what God is saying about me, I'm able to see really who I truly am. And that has helped me with confidence. Like Psalms 139 tells you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Man, I don't care how many mistakes you made. I don't care what season you find yourself in. You could be single, you could be divorced, you could be married, you could be struggling, you could be broken, you could be dealing with rejection from parents, from family. I don't know it could be your job, it could be your health. I'm telling you, life will come at you to attack your confidence. How do I know? Because I know what those things feel like. What I realize when I get in tune with what God is saying about me, and I realize that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, it lets me know that I am not my circumstance. I want you to write that down. I am not my circumstance. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's what you need to remind yourself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I want to encourage you. That's going to help you with your confidence. And then you have to realize that sometimes people might not always see your value or see your worth, but you have to know that God will put the right people in your life to encourage you. He will put the right people in your life to see your value and to see your worth and will be the ones that actually need what you bring to the table. And that takes confidence. Sometimes God will give you a vision and he will give you a dream that's different than maybe what has ever been done before. For myself, some of you may know me, you may not know, but I'm a rapper. I'm a spoken word artist. And sometimes I'm also a preacher, right? And sometimes people can put you in this one box, but there's so many elevations, there's so many things to you. There's so many dimensions to your life. And if you don't have confidence to step into these things, I'm telling you, you will not be able to operate in the fullness, right? Confidence is even in how you show up. One thing y'all don't know is my mom is a stylist, right, y'all? She's a cosmetologist. She's been doing hair. So shout out to Lynn Hudson's Total Beauty Rehab. Y'all, she makes my hair look so beautiful. And I just really, really thank God for her. But she's dropped a lot of nuggets in my life on beauty, but I want to tell you, I had to learn confidence in myself, even in my womanhood, right? And how I show up and how I carry myself. And I believe that when you actually get confidence, you will show up in rooms differently. Can I say that for those in the back? It's different than trying to put on a facade or be something that you're not, because why? Confidence is on the inside. And when that confidence is on the inside, it exudes out. It becomes in your appearance. It comes in how you smile and how you compliment other people. Because I believe true confident women encourage other women. Because true confident women want to see other women win. Can I just say that for those in the back? I believe true confidence is not arrogant. It's not prideful. I believe true confidence is wanting to see other people win along with yourself. I believe that's confidence. So let's talk about confidence. Your girl had to understand what confidence was. So even some years ago, I want to say about maybe 7 years ago, I actually had to walk through a divorce. And I'm going to talk about my story, but I just want to say that even walking through brokenness and healing, I had to develop my confidence. I had to learn who I was. I had to begin to learn what it took to, to look beautiful, to be beautiful. To not just for an event or an occasion, but every single day. People say, why you get dressed like that? Why do you do these things? Why you and it's because I realize confidence exudes. And when you wear this confidence, you will allow the glory of God to manifest. Y'all, I didn't know that I had what was in me. I didn't know I had this confidence, but I'm telling you, there will be things in your life that will come to attack your confidence. I was so broken. I didn't even know the beauty that truly lied within. And it wasn't just the beauty that was there, but God had levels. He had realms of beauty that he wanted to bestow. And now I understand that people will love you because of your smile. They will love you because of how you show up and how you make them feel. I want to tell you that your confidence is so essential because your purpose is tied to it. If I had never had confidence, I would have never got on this mic again, to even speak again, to be able to declare the goodness of the Lord again. But I realized somebody needed me to step out and to be confident in who God called me. Can I talk about this? Confidence will bring an authenticity. I'm not trying to be like anybody else on another podcast. I'm not trying to be like anybody else that's speaking, that's coaching, that's doing the things, all the things, right? I just want to be who God has called me to be. And when confidence steps into your life, you will become authentically who God has called you to be. Right? I want to just say that confidence is waiting on you. I realize it doesn't matter what age you are. You can be a teenager, you could be a young adult, you could be in your 30s, you could be in your 40s, you can be in your 60s, you can be in your 70s, you can be in your 80s or pushing 80. I want to tell you that confidence is still waiting for you. Confidence is calling you. And maybe you have it, but it's another level of confidence. I'm so excited because I believe that when you become confident, you will begin to attract the opportunities, the resources, the favor, the things that God has assigned to your life, the people that God has assigned to your life in this confidence. And I'm telling you, when you get this authentic confidence, like this confidence, this inner confidence that only God could give you and build you up in, I'm telling you, there's nothing in hell that can take it away. This confidence doesn't come because you have a million followers. This confidence doesn't come because you have people that are calling you and doors opening for you and increase coming to you. But this confidence comes from a knowing. This confidence comes from a knowing that you know that you have a piece of God on the inside of you. And that piece is not little pieces. That piece is greatness. You know that you have something of value, of worth on the inside of you, and that gives you confidence. The enemy wasn't attacking me. He was attacking my destiny. He was attacking my confidence. Because if he can get you to believe that you are not as powerful as God says you are, you would not step into the things that he has called you to step into. You wouldn't be confident to start the business. You wouldn't be confident to write the book. You wouldn't be confident to encourage others. You wouldn't be confident to speak on a podcast. You wouldn't be confident to be who God has called you to be. Because some people are comfortable. Can we talk about comfortability? Some people are comfortable in you playing small. Some people don't want your confidence full because you might dim somebody else's light. But in order for you to walk in the confidence that God is calling you to walk into, it's going to take boldness. It's going to take grace. And it's also going to take grit. You're going to have to understand that sometimes you might have to pray and worship. Sometimes you might have to study and get a routine. Sometimes it means you have to go back to school. Sometimes it might mean you have to get a coach. Shout out to Coach Shalyn. If you want to be coach, you are more than welcome to join my winning circle. I'm excited to share ministry gems that I have learned throughout the years. I've been in ministry for over 15, 20 years. And God has given me so many different strategies in the kingdom of God. I'm also a business girly. So I'm happy to tell you some business tips. And your girl is also a personal development coach. So whether it's spiritual, whether it's life is lifing sometimes, but God is guiding. And I believe that he's given me tools to help you aid if you're navigating through brokenness, if you're navigating through rejection, if you want to grow through personal development, if you want to grow in your spiritual walk with God, I'm your girl. So when we talk about confidence, I'm not telling you something that I think, I'm telling you something that I know. Am I 100% confident or am I developing more and more? Yes. But I've learned that I have to step out and I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable and understanding that my confidence doesn't come from people. My confidence doesn't come from things. My confidence comes from God and knowing who he's called me to be. So I just want to encourage you to step out in confidence. Be confident in who you are. Be confident in knowing that wherever you have walked through, wherever you find yourself in this season, is right where you're supposed to be. As we approach the 6th month, the sixth, mid-quarter, not of the business year, but mid-year, right? 6 months. I want to tell you that you should be confident in walking in your purpose, right? Not just waking up and going through the motions. How do I know that? Because that used to be me. But now your girl is so meticulous with time. I understand that time is something that you cannot get back. So thank you for tuning into this podcast and just taking time not to just scroll, but to listen. I believe that your confidence is being restored even as you listen. I believe it's something about the things that you feel are on the inside of you that maybe you've been putting on the shelf. Maybe you haven't really been fully exercising because your confidence. I'm so grateful for the people that God has placed in my life in this season that encourage me, that push me, that support me. I'm telling you that confidence is so important. And who you have in your life, who's speaking in your ear, distractions, right? Confidence is so important. I want to tell you that's where you'll find your fight. And if you don't know how to develop that confidence, all you have to do is remember what you're speaking over yourself. Declare who you are every single day. Declare what you will not settle for every single day. Be someone that sets a standard. That should give you confidence. Be someone that doesn't just go with the flow and do everything that everybody else does, but you're okay with setting a standard. That's confidence. You're okay with charting your own course and walking on uncharted territory. That's confidence. You're okay to step out and be a trendsetter. You're okay to have your own swag and your own set and do what you do, right? That's confidence. You're okay to say what God is telling you to say. That's confidence. You're okay to do what God is telling you to do. That's confidence. You're okay to create what He's telling you to create. That's confidence. So if you needed permission, I hope the podcast today is encouraging you to have confidence. Have confidence. You won't always have everybody supporting you. You want everybody saying that you can do it. Why? Because God put the vision in you. And sometimes people won't see that vision, but you have to trust the inward vision that's on the inside. I want to encourage you to keep moving forward. I'm not hating on anybody. I think we all could win. Why? Because I believe you are a star, but God has so many stars in the galaxy. So I want to tell you, let's shine together. Let our confidence continue to erupt. I want to see what God's put on the inside of you magnify. Magnify it. Magnify it, right? We're supposed to magnify Him. So magnify what He has put on the inside of you to glorify Him. Y'all, I'm so excited about this podcast. I can't wait to share more with you. Right now, I just want you to be encouraged with your confidence. I don't care what season you find yourself in. Maybe you are not where you really wanted to be at 30 or 40 or 50 or 60. I don't know what age you are, where you find yourself, but know that you are right where you're supposed to be. And if you put your hands in God's hands, He will order every single one of your steps. And I've learned that God can redeem the time. Shay, what does redeeming the time means? It means that He can buy back the time. It means that whatever you lost, he can restore it, and He can give you more than what you've ever done. And he would actually make up for the lost time. What does that mean? God will make up for the lost time. That's confidence. Hebrew says, He that comes to God must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. Guess what, y'all? That is confidence. Sometimes we have to have confidence, not just in us, but we always have to have confidence in God. And sometimes life will try to hit you. How do I know? Because I've been there. But I can't afford not to have confidence in God. And some of you need your confidence restored in God, to trust that He's a healer, to trust that He's a healer of the broken heart, to trust that He will fix everything that's broken in your life, to trust that He will restore, to trust that He will redeem you, to trust that He will deliver you, to trust that He hears your prayers, to trust that confidence, to know that He is a father and He's a good, good father. I pray that even as you're listening to me, whether you need to turn up in how you show up in the world and how you show up in the 24 hours in your day, how you set your routine. We're going to talk about it because I am a leader of leaders. And that's actually a part of my educational side. My MBA is in leadership, and I'm going to talk to a lot of leaders. So you're going to get a little bit of faith, a little bit of business things, and some of the things that I do on my own to build myself up. I want to pour into you. I want you to be encouraged, but I want you to also know spiritually, you have to have confidence in God. So you're going to get that on this podcast too. All right. So as you tune in for more, I hope that you have pulled something, some nuggets out of this, and that you are encouraged to step out in confidence. All right, y'all. So, Father, I thank you for everybody that's tuned in, my brother, my sister, and even my friend. And I thank you for giving them the confidence that they need in this season of their life. Lord, that they would know that it's not a confidence in themselves, but it's a confidence in you. And as they get confident in you, Father, that you would do a work in them, that they would have so much confidence and boldness to step out in what you've called them to do, and that they would see you and see themselves the way you see them. And I pray, Father, that they would know that you have given them a new confidence. How do I know? Because God, you did it for me. So I thank you for tuning in. Y'all, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you got out of this episode. Type in confidence, new confidence. I don't know what you need, but God does. And if you want to be a part of this winning circle, let me know. I'm happy to coach you. I want you to call me Coach Shalyn. But most importantly, stay tuned for the next episode with Wholeness Equity. Thank you.